and welcome to another edition of H. Paul Models. This one is going to be slightly different. I'm still building Airfix. I'm still building 172 scale Curtis P40 Warhawk, but I'm going to try and introduce a motor, that little motor there, into the aircraft, get the prop to spin. It's something I had done before on Spitfires and Hurricanes, but I've never done it on a P40, so this should be interesting. So, as I say every video, let's go! As always, the instructions are up. As with the sprues, board's clean, everything's ready to go. Let's crack on. So, how to fit the motor into the fuselage, I'll hear you say. It's, I've had a look, and the fuselage is quite significantly deeper than the motor itself, and you can see it on the camera. There we go. So yes, it's not going to sit well in there at all. As you can see, it's at an angle not particularly brilliant. So what I've done is, let's be honest, we all do it, we discard the sprues and not really paying attention to them. I'm going to use a bit of sprue cut from this length. I've ground it down using my Dremel type thing. I'm going to fix that into there with a bit of that starter set glue. I can't name it now, Humbrol glue, whatever it is. That's really good for doing this sort of thing. Lay the motor on top of that wedge, get it square, and then just tack it in with a little bit of super glue to hold it in place. Do the same the other side. Not going to glue it, just so it wedges the motor in between the two fuselage halves. Bring the wires out, fire the landing gear in the wing, because I'll have it standing on the base with a switch somewhere. So when the switch is thrown, the prop starts up. Yeah, looking forward to this. Should be a bit of fettling, but we can do it. you've seen me in the video. I've done the primer coat, the undercoat, varnished, hairsprayed, now a top coat. So this tool here, being that I'm electrically qualified, experienced, whatever, is what we call a fibre brush, and it's used for clearing up contacts on contactors and relays and whatnot. So I also find it good for this. So I dip it in a bit of water just for a bit of lubrication. Now, because Humbrol paint is water based, if you take the fibre brush or a stiffled brush, it's hard to do this in front of the camera, and just gently work where I painted silver before, as you saw in the video. I just gently scrape, just ever so gently. The top coat will start to wear, leaving the silver paint underneath. Now I'm doing the case ejection holes because I would like to think there'd be a bit of wear there. And bearing in mind it's going to be weathered anyway, so yeah. And there we go, a bit of cotton bud. Wipe off the water and the old paint. And there's a silvering effect or chipping effect. In the camera, it's starting to silver up. Like so. A little bit of water just to make sure it's a bit more pronounced. There we go. You can see there, I've gone a bit too hard. So I will just touch that up with a brush. So, with a bit of weathering, where the exhaust would go and bullet casings and whatnot, trying to catch the shine. There we go. I've also done the wheels, remember the wheel recesses, because I've painted them green, over painted them, and then I've worn them down a bit where the wheels have moved in and out. Hopefully, again with weathering, that'll be the effect that will finish off the underside. So I'm going to varnish that, and then I'm going to do the top side of the model. Airbrushing on the top coat here, 155 with my Gallery airbrush. Chipping will come when it's dried. Now the P40 model comes with a complete canopy. I want my canopy open. I'm just awkward like that. So what I've done is I've got the canopy clear part taped to the cutting mat. I've got if I put it in the picture, my trusty plastic cutting saw thing. I know there's razor saws, other bits of equipment, but this is something I got for Christmas many years ago. And so what I'm going to do is ever so slowly find a straight line and just work it down the clear part. This takes an enormous amount of patience, because I don't want to go too hard and crack the plastic, and I don't want to leave the line where the canopies would meet. So very slowly. And the reason why I've taped it is because sometimes the saw will jam. You see now the blade is full of plastic debris, so I'll just wipe that off. When it jams, it will move, and if it moves, it can get damaged. So if I tape it, it helps my fingers hold it. So very slowly I'm cutting down the straight edge there, just checking both sides are reasonably square, because I'm going to get one shot at this. Now I have done this with Spitfire canopies before, I've done it with Hurricanes, but I've never done it with this. So I'm just taking my time very slowly. I think it's jammed again, so I need to clear the blade. Give it a blow. Go back to sawing ever so gently. I'm not going to rush this. If the blade sticks, I just release the blade. I don't push it any harder than I need to, because I don't want cracks forming. So very slowly, here we go. Hopefully that's almost through now. Now what I do is, once it's through, almost there. Oh, is it going to work? Yeah, we're through. So I'm really pleased with that because the mirrors stayed there. If I can show that to the camera, the mirror part is still there. Brilliant. There's not too much damage to the canopy. Yes, that's done. Now all I've got to do is mask it, paint it. Brilliant. Yes, it's all about patience and, you know, just taking your time. So that bit's undamaged as well. Happy days. They're all done. Whoops. There we go. They're all done. Just waiting for it to, the glue to go off. Then I'm not going to unmask them until I do a final varnish. I've also fitted all of the decals, well, the ones I wanted to fit anyway. Now, they are bright and glary. So, Poundland makeup. Good stuff, this. Just put a bit on a brush, like so, and just ever so gently work it over the decal, just a little bit. Just so it takes that shine off. Now, this is before I apply varnish. I always do it before I put the last coat on. Then I get a cotton bud and I just sweep off the excess. There we go. One less shiny decal. I don't invest heavily in weathering powders when Poundland do really cheap makeup, which is pretty much like weathering powders. So yeah, just gently work it in. Put it over the top just to smear that white glare off. I'm not a great fan of it, so just to clean off the sheen, shall we say. And then a cotton bud and just wipe off the excess. Like that. There you go, they're tamed now. No need for any powders or weathering. And here is the finished model. Yeah, P40B Warhawk. I put it in a sort of a deserty scene. It may not be historically or factually correct, but I quite like it. It shows off the green of the plane a bit more. Done a bit extra weathering, not too much. And yes, the bit I'm really proud of is, if I can find it, flick of a switch and the prop starts up. So yeah, really pleased with this build. It's been lots of fun. So yeah, I'm hoping you've enjoyed the video too. And yeah, please like. If you haven't already, subscribe. And see you next time. Cheers!